In Of Mice and Men, Steinbeck emphasizes how one single moment can change everything. When George and Lenny were working in the town of Weed, Lenny met a girl in a red dress. Lenny touched the dress, and the girl began to scream and said he raped her. This single event caused Lenny and George to flee the town of Weed. Another event in Of Mice and Men is Curly's wife. Lenny was trying to get Curly's wife to stop screaming so that he did not get in trouble for touching her. When doing this, his strength got the best of him, and he ended up accidentally breaking her neck. This one event caused everyone on the farm to look for Lenny in hopes to kill him. This event also caused George to have to shoot Lenny. Both of these events changed George and Lenny's lives dramatically.
In the book 102 Minutes, written by Jim Dwyer and Kevin Flynn, the authors show in great detail how a single moment can change everything. The first example of this is a man named Stanley Prangnith, who went down to the lobby to leave but was told to return to work. Only 10 minutes later, Prangnith looked out his 81st floor window to see a second plane coming straight towards him. He quickly ducked under his desk, saving his life, and was later able to be rescued by two men. This single moment of Prangnith going back upstairs changed his life, in which making him have the most traumatic experience ever. The moment he ducked under his desk impacts him by simply saving his life. Another example is the man in the red bandana, who made it out of the towers and then decided to go back up to save people, and he ended up dying in the tower. This example also shows how a single moment of him going back into the tower impacts his life by him dying in the end. This example not only shows how the single event impacts him by him dying, but also making him a hero and turning his life into a legacy and having a meaning. As shown by these examples, the authors Dwyer and Flynn emphasize the impact of a single moment or decision on one's life.
For the modern-day example, I use Aaron Feist, the assistant football coach at the Parkland High School that was shot up recently. He was 37 years old, and he decided to make a choice that would change his life forever. He took a bullet for students being shot at. This answers our driving question because by the coach jumping in front of the kids while they were being shot at, he ended up taking the bullet for them and dying. This one choice made a huge difference on multiple people's lives. He saved teens that could have died at such a young age. He protected their futures that they now still have. Him dying for the students also affected his life and his family's. He is no longer living, and his family no longer has him around as a son, uncle, husband, or father. By this one action and one choice, it changed his life and others forever. It also granted him the title of a hero. By making the choice to save others before himself, it changed how he was looked upon for good.
A single event. Just think about how many events you go through in a day, week, month, or even a year. Imagine if you just did one thing differently, how much different the outcome would be. From choosing to go left or right around the falling floors in the Twin Towers on 9/11, to just choosing to do your homework just an hour before you said you were going to. Oh, how much more free time you would have. Or, in author Robert Frost's case, choosing a path to travel. Robert Frost is the author of the poem The Road Not Taken. In the poem, Frost comes to a split in his path. In this, Frost has to make a decision on what path he's going to take to travel. He could choose the path that has been traveled by many, many people, and he knows is going to lead him to his endpoint, or take the untraveled path that leads him to the unknown. Though this decision isn't life or death, his choice impacted his life. In his decision to take the less traveled path, it shows a lot about his character. In taking less traveled, it shows that Frost isn't a rule follower and is interested in exploring the unknown. It also shows that he is a risk taker. In just one decision or one moment, we can come to the conclusion about one's personality, even if that event has little to no significance or has the biggest significance in the world. For example, Robert Frost's case, just choosing a path to travel. Single moments and decisions in a situation can affect the outcome drastically. Not only does your decision affect you, but it also affects the people around you. In 102 Minutes, the guy in the red bandana made the choice to go back into the burning tower to save others that had a family and a future ahead of them. His selflessness changed these survivors' lives along with their families. If he didn't go back up into those towers, there is a very high probability that they would have never made it out of those towers. In Of Mice and Men, George's decision to take care of Lenny changes Lenny's life. Lenny gets to travel and work while working towards his dreams of tending to the rabbits on his own farm. The decision of George to handle Lenny shows how selfless and caring he is. In just these examples, it shows the difference of one single moment or decision on how it can change a person's life and people surrounding them.